Hi, I'm Kai Cheng Thom, and you're watching Ask Kai, Quick Tips for the Apocalypse. This is a series of short videos in which I answer all of your questions about how to survive and also thrive in the middle of the end of the world. So today's question is, I'm bisexual, but my partners always assume I'm either gay or straight. Do I need to come out to them, and how do I do that? Why does the thought of this make me so anxious? Okay, so this is a great question because I don't think we talk about bisexual erasure or pansexual erasure enough. Let's talk about biphobia for a second. Biphobia is the assumption that bisexual people either don't exist, or they're going through something and they won't be bi for very long, or that their needs aren't as important as monosexual people. Monosexual just meaning, I guess, that folks aren't bi, that they're only attracted to one gender. And what I would say about this is, like, bisexuality is super valid, it's super real, and a lot of people experience some degree of bisexuality, pansexuality, or otherwise sexual fluidness in the course of their sexual lifetimes. So the second thing I would say is no, it's not necessary. You don't have to come out to anyone for any reason unless that's what feels right to you and it feels safe enough for you to do that. Because coming out to someone is an act of trust. It's a gift that you give to them, and when we give someone a gift, it's on them to receive that respectfully. That said, you may feel like you want someone to know that you're bi because, you know, maybe you're polyamorous and you'd like to date people of multiple genders and you don't want that to come off as like a surprise conversation, or maybe, you know, you have significant past partners that you want to talk about at some point. Maybe you just feel like you want to be really authentic, and in order to know you properly, a partner has to know that you're bi. In which case, I would say you absolutely have the right to do that. And, you know, I would just say we have the right as well to expect that people respond to our coming out with grace. That doesn't mean they're always going to do that, but I think that when we set the tone, sometimes it helps people to remember, like, oh yeah, I don't get a say. I don't get to have an opinion about what other people's sexual orientation is. So that is to say, after the first date or the second date or like a month in, whenever feels right to you, because I'm bi, and then, you know, you finish that sentence, whatever's contextually appropriate, or maybe you want to be a little more formal and say, oh hey, by the way, I just wanted you to know, I'm bisexual, right? Like, you know, you don't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be the smoothest thing in the world, because the responsibility is not yours, it's theirs to receive that information gracefully. And if you just kind of say it like that, like, yeah, I'm bisexual and this is how it is, maybe that helps people to remember, like, yeah, this is just how things are, and we don't need to necessarily, you know, have a big debrief about it, unless, of course, that's what you, as the bisexual person, want. If their reaction is maybe a little negative, but not so negative that it's a deal breaker, and you kind of want to educate them, or you want them to be educated, you have the total right to be like, here's what I need you to know, and then go into it. You also have the right to be like, that's not my job, you know, maybe Google, right? We live in an information age. They can find out stuff about bisexuality. The important thing is to set the tone. When you date someone, you deserve to be treated with respect. The person you date deserves to be treated with respect, and that's kind of just how it goes. So another piece of this question is, why does coming out as bi make me feel anxious? And I guess I would say that, like, that's a totally normal thing to feel a little anxious, or maybe even a lot anxious about coming out to someone, even if you've done it a whole lot of times, right? Like, when you think about it, coming out for most of us is a very stressful thing, because we unfortunately still live in a queerphobic, homophobic, biphobic, lots of phobic isms in this society. We don't know how people are going to react, and unfortunately research has shown that bi people do experience discrimination from other parts of the queer community. You know, queer folks have in the past said a lot of nasty things about bi people. So it makes sense, I think, to be nervous about it. And then especially in a dating context, whenever we're in a dating context, anything involving intimacy, there's always that fear of rejection that might come up. So if you're feeling that anxiety, get connected with people who can support you in it, right? Like, one of the most important things about dealing with discrimination is knowing you're not alone. Biphobia and bi-erasure are real things. They cause real stress. And one of the most important pieces of dealing with discrimination is knowing you're not alone. That's it for today, folks. You've been watching Ask Kai, Quick Tips for the Apocalypse. Stay safe, wash your hands, wear a mask, don't throw parties and share beers. Nobody needs your COVID spit.